Well, excuse me. Good morning, everybody. Hey, this is Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates, and I just wanted to hop on today, share these 3 cards that I made using some of it's called Flight Airy Designer Series paper, which is a celebration item, free with a $50 purchase. Now, I can't stress enough, get it. It's gorgeous and free for $50 purchase. Perfect. But tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow ends celebration, so do not delay. I wanted to also highlight this bundle, Perennial Postage. I used it on these 3 cards. There are the dies and then these awesome sentiment stamps that are part of this bundle. Now, purchase the bundle. You have what it takes to then get the paper for free, and you can make these cards. So let's get started. I'm actually going to start with this one today. All right, so here we go. I am dropping everything. So I have a card base. It is the white card base, top folding. That means it is 11 by 4 1/4. The score line is at 5 1/2. Next, from the paper, I did die cut using one of the Perennial Postage dies. I love this postage style. This measures about 3 3/4 by 5, give or take. But that just kind of gives you an idea as far as what that measures. So this is the other side that I'm not using. So beautiful, isn't it? So I'm trying to, I squeezed really hard because it wasn't coming out. Now I've got these big blobs. So anyway, let's move it around some. Let's get this put down into the center. And yeah, like I said, I just can't stress enough how stunning this paper is. There are other papers as well that honestly you don't want to miss out on them. So all right, this piece of the blue, again, part of the DSP pack. And this is a 1 inch wide, 4 1/2 inches long. So let's go ahead and we'll get this one down next. If I don't squeeze too hard and get glue all over the place. I almost hate to cover up this pretty paper, but it all really comes together here in a moment. So this piece of DSP is 3/4 of an inch wide, 4 inches long. So we'll go ahead and get that put down. So you're actually getting to see some of the other sides of the paper. So, okay. Now, I decided to use the paper also sort of as my focal image. The set that bundle, that Perennial Postage Bundle, it is all sentiments and those gorgeous dies. So I thought I'm going to keep it then with using just the paper as my focal image for these cards. So just to give you some ideas of using up that paper. Now, this piece that I have here is, let me concentrate on getting this put down. This one is, 2 1/8 by 2 7/8. That means then that it's 2 1/4 and then by 3. This is Flirty Flamingo, the layer behind it. So 2 1/8, 2 7/8 for the DSP. Flirty Flamingo, just 1/8 of an inch bigger, which means then that is 2 1/4 by 3 inches. Now, I already have the dimensionals on the back, so let's go ahead and get that adhered down. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Well, you might believe it. I'm actually running out of dimensionals. I always, if I have a little bit left over on my Stampin' Rewards, then I'll always get a pack of dimensionals. And I think I'm actually going to have to get more. So anyway, this sentiment from the Perennial Postage, and I die cut it with that die that was included in that bundle. Now, to kind of layer behind this, just to add a little bit more of that blue color, I have this piece of the boho blue, and it is 1.5 by 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere those two together. And see, I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. Now this, I'm going to get some dimensionals put on the back. And I know you believe it that I'm running out because I do use a lot of them. So yeah. So there we go. This will get put down. I'm going to put an embellishment on, and then this card is done. So lots of layers, which is what I love. I don't want to cover up that bird. I'll do it this way so he is completely covered. I don't want to have just a portion of the bird showing. So there we go. And the embellishment that I'm going to use is one of these classic matte dots. So let me find my pick tool, and I will get one of these. And that's all I'm using is just one, and I'm putting it right in the corner there. Okay, so card number 1 is done. Inside, I only put a sentiment, believe it or not, just with big hugs. Okay, we'll set this one aside. Let me bring in card number 2. Let me make sure I have this one. Yeah, this is the one that I have next. So let's find it. So again, the same top folding card base of the thick whisper. I always say whisper, my apologies. Thick basic white. Inside here, I did put some scraps of the DSP that I had. I have a piece of the designer series paper, 3 3/4 by 5. This is Misty Moonlight, and this is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So that means it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that together. I know it's a shame to put this on the glue this side down, isn't it? But that's when you know that a paper is really, really good, is when you can't decide which side of it to use. I decided on this piece to show because I knew I was going to have some, I don't know if busy is the word, but I didn't want the background to also then kind of compete with the other pieces that I have. This piece here, it's more of that Lost Lagoon color, and this is 3 3/4 wide, and no, it is not. Let me see. Yes, it is 3 3/4 wide. I have to measure. I don't know what I have here, so 3 3/4 by 2 inches. So 2 by 3 3/4. So I try and have the dimensions all written down for myself when I do my lives, and I did not have this piece written down anywhere. So, okay. There is that. I'm going to go ahead, finish building the front of this a little bit more. I have another piece of the DSP. Yep, I am really using this up. Now, this piece measures 3 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, so let's get this put down. So 3 by 3 3/4. I will work on getting these cards out on my blog. My blog is lindaloucreates.com. with all of these measurements. I am using a mix of designer series papers, but you can certainly, if it's a little too busy for you, feel free to instead substitute with cardstock or something, or remove a layer, whatever then is your style on that. All right, again, the Perennial Postage. And this piece, it's approximately 2 by 2 3/4. So if you don't have this bundle or die set here, you can just cut that out then, 2 by 2 3/4. Now I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this down. Then I'm going to put the whole thing to my card base. So kind of off center it. I like doing that. I feel like it makes it nice and interesting. Let me bring this in, make sure I have the correct side up. Let's get this put down to the card base. Now there was a second round of Saleabration items that were added, so don't miss out on those. So some stamp sets. There was actually some markers, some of the Stamp and Write markers that you can get with qualifying purchase. So make sure to check it out, get your order in, and yeah, don't miss out on free stuff. Everyone loves free stuff. All right, this piece of bubble bath, it is 3/4 of an inch wide, 3 3/4 long. I stamped in Berry Burst on top of it, again from that Perennial Postage Bundle. So that I'm just going to put down approximately right here. Obviously you saw with my dimensionals. And now for the focal image here. I just used a circle punch and started punching away at the birds in the paper and came up with this one then to be my focal image. So I'm going to just figure out where I want to put him. I'm going to have him similar to that, but I want to put dimensionals where it hangs off the strip, which is the majority of it. So let me grab some dimensionals here, and so that I kind of know. And then what I'll do is I'm going to, where it overlaps on top of the pink sentiment strip, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. Okay, so you can definitely use part of your fabulous papers as your focal image. Let's bring in these dots again, the classic matte dots, and I'm just going to add 2 of them along the side here, and it would help to pick it up. There we go. So here and here. Okay, so a different bird, but still just as beautiful. All right, so that is card number 2. Let's get that third card together now. So here I've got then that one. Let's bring in some of the pieces. Now on the inside here, I just have, again, a simple sentiment from that Perennial Postage on there. I didn't put any DSP in there, which is crazy for me, so I might add that later. So top folding card for this one, it is Calypso Coral this time. Just a heads up, the pieces like this I didn't get put inside the one that I'm showing you now. The inside white is 4 by 5 1/4, so I'll put that in later. I also have a piece of white that's going to go on the front. This too is 4 by 5 1/4. So let me move stuff out of the way and let's get going. I have a piece of the DSP, and this measures 3 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and get this adhered down. So tomorrow is the last day of February. So tomorrow is then the last and final day to be able to get your orders in to earn your free Saleabration items. So just a heads up on that. I have a strip here of the boho blue. It's 1/4 of an inch wide, 5 1/4 inches long. So I'm just going to put some glue right along here on the white. You can put this strip anywhere. I just thought it was a nice little kind of breakup, I guess, with all the patterns that are going on in the paper. So I'm just going to have that right up against it. And I seem to be a tad long. Oh, no, I'm not. All right. I actually cut it correctly this time. So one more piece of the designer series paper. Here it is the brown, the pecan pie, and it is 1 1/4 inches by 4. So let's just go ahead and get this down. And I'm just going to put that down here, sort of like the bottom third, so to speak. And let's go ahead and get this put down onto the card base. So once you get all these measurements and all your papers cut and layered, the rest of the card comes together very quickly. So that's why I want to be sure, and I will get those measurements on my blog and let you know what they are, and hopefully it'll help you then be able to create using what you have on hand. So, all right, next, I used that same die that I had used on this card that I cut out the white. This time I cut out the petal pink. And again, this is about 2 by 2 3/4. Calypso Coral ink, I stamped the sentiment. Now this is going to go down to my card. And I usually already am prepared with all my dimensionals, but I seem to not be this time. So let's go ahead and put some on. And we will get this put down. Oops. I want to keep in mind that I have, again, just a circle for my focal image from the DSP. So that I'm going to put right down here. There we go. So once again, I got to keep in mind where I'm going to be going with that. Where it overhangs is where I want to put my dimensionals. So let's start adding a few of those. So, and that's looking pretty good. I do have to add, I'm sorry, I have to add a couple more. I'm going to put some mini ones in there because this is not cardstock. I just feel the need to put one kind of right here, and let me make sure I get this, and one over here. Let's put a little bit of glue on this, but because, like I was saying, this is paper, it is not the heavier cardstock, I feel that it's going to sag easier, and we definitely don't want any sagging. So there, that makes me happy. And there it is. Let me add a couple embellishments now. Coming back with these classic matte dots. Let's get a few of them on there. I just kind of went in the corners here. I feel like I am missing one on my sample card. I must have knocked it off somewhere. So I like the idea of 3, so let me just add a third one here. And there we go. Card number 3 is complete. That didn't take much time at all. You're letting the paper do the work for you. That's what's fantastic with this. So let me bring in the other 2 cards that we made today. Let me make sure I have those in. Now, I did get one more made, but it has already been sent off. It's very simple. I did take a picture, though. I remembered to do that before popping it in the mail. So I will post that probably tomorrow. I'll get these out on my blog with measurements, so be on the lookout for that. But hey, get those orders in. Don't miss out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I will see you guys on Friday when I have my usual Facebook Lives. I just wanted to make this one extra special. So, all right, have a great day. Bye now.